Hi, welcome to our weekly on-air meeting. I'm sorry I didn't have the on-air part broadcast before, and Bhante just had an announcement about the McMaster Buddhism Association. Do you mind just repeating it?
So we have we have agreed now that we'll be supporting the McMaster Buddhism Association, because for our weekly meditation course we will be uh, booking a room. It's called the Mindfulness Center. It's basically a dance studio, really. When I went in there last week, there was one person in there actually with loud music dancing, which I don't think is what it's supposed to be used for, but I don't feel comfortable complaining about it. Anyway, it's supposed to be an open place to meditate, but I guess because no one's meditating, they're just using it for dancing. But we can book it, and when we book it, then we get it for meditation. So they've offered us a $100 charge for the whole year, and that's going to be every week until April. So the organization has, I guess, informally agreed, and we will support that kind of thing.
Is that the Wednesday group that you guys meet outside now?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like a better plan for the winter.
Well, we had a room booked, but it's a meeting room, and it's full of tables and chairs, so not exactly the best place to do meditation.
Yeah, you'd spend half the time moving the desks aside and putting them back
Yeah,
and all that.
and you don't ever get the kind of room that you need, even when you move stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Stefano. Hi, Aruna.
Hi.
So last week we kind of identified 5 areas to go over and recap in this weekly meeting. The first area being requisites, providing requisites for Bhante and any other monastics at the monastery. And just been working on one issue regarding Pita Pit e-cards. There was a problem. I had sent one and it just kind of went into a black hole, and we followed up with the corporate office at Pita Pit, and they're very nice. They looked into it. They haven't quite figured out what happened, but they're willing to make good on it and send Bhante a physical card with the combination of the different amounts that have been donated, purchased on his behalf so far. But I think I ought to put something out on Facebook to say, if by chance anyone else had sent a Pita Pit e-gift card, we have the names of 3 people, Bond, myself, and one other person who had sent Pita Pit cards. But if there were other people, like I wouldn't have known. I would have just sent it and assumed everything was fine. So I thought I'd just put something out and just see if there are other people. If so, we can follow up with Pita Pit and get that all straightened out. But Tina, for your records, we don't recommend anyone purchase Pita Pit certificates from this point on until after November 1st, after their full program is rolled out. They're in the testing phase right now, and clearly there are a couple of bugs. So no more Pita Pit until after November 1st. And
While we are still on this topic, I want to double check with Monday that is the William Fresh Cafe card. Or did you have chance to use it? Did you use it successfully?
Yes, I went with a Vietnamese monk for lunch.
So you use.
It's much more expensive than, say, Subway, but the food is better.
Yeah, I look at the menu. It seems nice.
It's nice, but the portions are small, so to get the same amount of lunch, it was about $20 for lunch for each of us.
Okay.
Wow.
As opposed to Subway, maybe 12.
Yeah, but how about nutrition-wise?
Yeah, I think it's better food. Well, pretty clear it's better food.
Okay. Because I want to double check, because one of our supporters seems to be going to order the William Fresh Cafe cards, and yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it depends where my schedule brings me. I've actually moved more towards this side, like Westdale side, in the past bit. I'm not sure if that'll continue, but it's just been easier because the other ones, the bus I take, I have to go past and then down to the hospital, and then I have to walk. It's a bit of a ways to walk down and back to the subway down there and to Williams Fresh down there. So I've just been going to the subway here. It's still a walk, so it's not. I mean, it's not really. I'm not saying anything meaningful. I've just been going on this side more. So I haven't gone. I've only gone to Williams Fresh once, but absolutely can go there again. It's within distance.
Just to kind of summarize, there have been a few people who have been concerned about your nutrition, and probably just want to hear from you. Are you comfortable in general with the food that you're eating, at Subway and Tim Hortons and through the e-gift cards? Because there's been some concern about people who, from people who feel that maybe we should do something different, hire a cook, or try to do something different for you.
I don't think we should hire a cook.
Okay.
But one thing that, because it's a lot of vegetarian food, and even with meat food, there's a concern for vitamin B12 and I guess some other trace nutrients that are hard to get unless you eat meat that has been fortified with it. And the easiest way is soy milk that's been fortified. When I was a vegan, we would have this fortified soy milk. But I'm not that, it's not that big of a deal to me. Health. I've eaten far worse than I'm eating now. When I was in Thailand, a lot of fairly dubious meals.
Is soy milk something that you can keep overnight, or is that something that you'd have to have fresh every day?
I can't keep it. You can't
So
keep
it'll
any
have to
food.
be a
So it
daily.
has to be.
Bante, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We like to know about what kind of, I think I was asking for you, I think I was talking with Tina too. We'd like to know what kind of food we can offer, because what I noticed, all of us, those who are into offering, they are concerning, exactly as Robin said, about nutrition and sort of. So if we can talk about that thing, I mean, maybe in another meeting or whatever, list out what kind of food or what kind of things will be better, like a breakfast or lunch, and then like that.
Well,
Four
the
different.
only thing that I can think of that might be a problem is certain vitamins and nutrients. Like when I was a vegan, I went to see this nutritionist, and she said, being a vegan is really difficult. We'll have to see whether you're lacking something. And so I pulled out this quart of fortified soy milk, and I said, well, I'm drinking this, and she said, yeah, well. And so she looked at it, and she started calculating what was on it, and she said, oh, this has everything you need.
So the soy milk sounds really good then. By
Well,
chance,
they've designed, they've calculated it all out, and it's got exactly what you need in it. Usually, I mean, it used to. This was years and years ago, and I'm sure it hasn't gotten worse.
by
But if you
chance,
get
do
the
you
right
know?
kind of soy milk, it's designed for vegans and vegetarians.
And then I noticed, I think, because I mean, in a way, to Sri Lankan tradition, I mean, we think lunch is like a kind of full menu with rice, something. Because when I offering you dana, and then I noticed like offering rice with something is, I mean, every day is not going to be work out for you. So in that kind of
Well,
sense, I mean,
it's not that rice is a problem. It's white rice isn't all that healthy, and fried rice
uh,
certainly isn't healthy.
but
So
Regarding
even
the soy milk, by chance, do you know of a local place that would have that? Are
10
there
years
little
ago, it was pretty
markets?
easy to find. So I'm sure I mean, it's not like I go to grocery stores anymore. So, but I'm assuming it can't have gotten harder to find in the past 10, 12 years.
Okay.
What about
Pretty much every grocery store has soy milk now. It's very common.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how to actually get
Yes,
it to you because it has to be fresh every day, and you can't actually go to a store.
Right now, I'm being given hot milk every day, which isn't nearly as I mean, it's great. Actually, milk is, I guess, it's got good nutrients in it, but it's
How
not the
is
same.
it? I wasn't knowing, but I tried that on maybe whether it's going to be work out for you. And then it's nice to hear, like, yeah.
What about booster juice at your campus?
Yeah, there's a lot of the restaurants have these new shakes, like protein shakes and
Yeah.
omega-3
Yeah,
shakes and
that's
that
on
kind of stuff
McMaster campus.
on McMaster campus.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. It's just that McMaster food is so expensive. They say it's a complete ripoff. Apart from that, it's super convenient.
Yeah, I think it's like
And yeah, they
$7
do
or
have
$8 for a booster
they
juice.
do have full vegan fare as far as I understand.
Do they have a la carte where you can just get an amount and just use it so you don't have to buy all the meals there?
I I I think you may have to. Good question. I don't know. You may have to get a plan, but yeah, I don't know. Something to look. The other thing is, I think a lot of that stuff is self-serve, which doesn't work.
Oh.
Just technically speaking, it's not.
Well, maybe we can just look into the plan and see if, number one, if it is a la carte, and if so, we can figure out something where, maybe someone from the McMaster Buddhism Association who is on campus at that time would be willing and available to offer it to you.
That sounds difficult.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a lot of Buddhists on our group. We have a few, but I'm not that close to them. None of the exec is Buddha. There's one. Michelle is there. Michelle would certainly help. That's interesting. You could talk to Michelle. She's Thai or Thai Lao, and she's great. We were practicing meditation together when she was in third grade, 14 years ago.
Is that someone, I don't know who that is. Would you want to give her my email address and I can correspond with her and see if that's something she would do? Or can you pass
Maybe
the
I can
message
give you.
along?
I'll give you her email
Sure.
address. You can contact her.
Sure, if you can just
She's a
send me.
bit, she's a bit busy, but I think, it's not that big of a thing. Um, it's something I could talk to her mother about because I have a relationship with her mother to the extent that they've said if there's anything you need, let us know. And I don't know.
Is her mother the
On the other hand,
person
I'm not sure I want to. Well, anyway, maybe they'd like to do that.
Is her mother the person that's offering the frozen food for meditators?
Yes.
Okay. Is that all set for the course for next week?
Well, I don't know that we have anyone coming. We have one person who said they'd come. And no, there's no food. We haven't worked out the food yet just because I haven't really got a confirmation.
Well, frozen food would be good either way. If people come, it's there, and if they don't, it'll keep. So.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll get in touch with her.
Okay.
I wanted to talk to you all about something else. It would have been nice if the IT guys were here, I guess, but last week we talked about Drupal and switching from WordPress, and I hate to waffle, but, well, Doug kind of pushed me back in the other direction. Not trying to, but he wondered why, and rekindled the doubts in me that why are we switching away from WordPress? I don't quite see the need to do it, and I'm not convinced that it's. I guess I'm a little bit biased because of my experience with Drupal from years ago. But anyway, none of this is any meaningful to all of you. But I don't know. Maybe it's not even worth bringing it up. It's something I'm having a conversation with George right now about it, and he's fairly strong in his idea that WordPress is problematic, but I haven't yet heard exactly what the problem with it is. Because, if it's not broken, why fix it? I guess the answer is that they don't feel comfortable using WordPress, and I'm not quite sure why yet. Because all of you who are using WordPress, I assume you can tell me that you haven't had any problems with it. Tina had a problem with that page doing weird things to her, but I don't know what happened there.
No problems for me.
I mean, WordPress is just really easy to use for the non-technical who are going to be doing the content, right? If you're making content, you don't need to know anything about the back end. One of his concerns was, Anthony, maybe you can address this, is that plugins can be buggy in the sense that they can be a security risk,
They can. There's a very large community of plugin authors. So, and Bante, you probably know this, but just for everyone else, I suppose, when you're looking for plugins, you have to make sure how many people are using them. If it's only 1,000 people have used it, maybe not the best choice. But if you see a plugin, 500,000 people are using it, then sure, it's a better bet. And you also find out if.
Sorry. Maybe you could audit our plugin list and make sure of that we're, have you ever used the multi-site, WordPress multi-site? Okay, because it's got two different admin interfaces. Each site has its admin, and then there's what's called a network admin, and that's where all the plugins are. You install the plugins once on the network, and then you enable them on each of the sites. So I'd have to give you network admin privilege, and then you could go in and look at our plugins and make sure they're all...
Sure, I'd be happy to do that.
Because I've never been that concerned with security, so sometimes I say, oh, that looks good, let's install it. I installed one plugin once, and it was doing weird things, so I looked at the source code, and it actually had us redirecting to some ad site. It was really bizarre.
That can happen.
But then, they did an update, and it disappeared, so I don't know whether it was intentionally malevolent, or someone messed with the code, or what.
Who knows? But there's a small core of plugin authors that do very, very high quality plugins. So the best WordPress sites are using these, so it's kind of good to be current with that stuff. I'd be definitely happy to look into that.
Okay, let me figure out how to give you network admin privilege, and I'll let you know. So in the meantime, but I'm not saying that, no, we're not going to switch. It's just I'm still would like to suggest potentially holding off on switching. I'm a bit concerned that maybe George has already put a lot of work into it, and I don't want to disappoint him. Like, he's put all this work in, and now we're not going to use it after we said go ahead with it. But on the other hand, I've been a bit skeptical because we haven't seen any product from anybody on the IT side yet. So, not to criticize, but I'm not sure. How committed are they to? How much time do they have? Because that was the thing. If you don't have the time to do Drupal, it's more time consuming. Like, can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, I'm sure that doing a quality Drupal site is a huge time investment.
Yeah. And so, which is why I said do it, but I don't want to get involved because I don't have the time.
Has George been in correspondence with anyone to let anyone know what the status of it is?
I haven't heard a word. I mean, we've been in touch about arguing about which one's best, but that's about it.
Because kind of in the beginning, the idea was that he was going to make some prototypes and just show it to us, to see. So at this point, we haven't really seen anything. So
maybe we can say, because we haven't seen anything now, and this was sort of when we should have been seeing something, that we're going to reset that, in the sense that in order to do it again, we need to decide to do it again. Yeah. Like, I mean, that may be just an excuse. I don't want to feel like we're making excuses, but, well, he didn't show up. So if he showed up and said, look, I've got this prototype, then I'd have to say, okay, you went ahead and did it, let's give it a go. But he's not here, which may, I'm not to blame him, but circumstances being what they are, we have to say, let's cancel that for now. And if we want to do it again, we will decide to do it again.
Yeah, and we're not really making excuses, we're just going with the easier option.
Yeah, I mean, that was the reason for waffling again, but I just don't want to disappoint him if he's already done it, but, well, he's not here, so what can we say? Let's cancel it then, for now. We'll say
Just
we're not
put it
going
on
to switch.
hold for now.
Put it on
I
hold.
think so.
Yeah, we'll just put it on hold.
Okay.
There's the other situation that it sounds like George and potentially Bond were the only ones who were really familiar with the Drupal, so that would kind of limit who would be able to work with it as well. So,
Well, anyone can do the content editing, content adding, provided you set it up properly. It's really neat. They have really specific permissions, which WordPress doesn't have unless you add plugins. But there's nobody. They're the two guys who would be doing the IT anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal that only they know about it. So, and I know how to use Drupal. I used it for several years. It's actually, it's fairly flexible. Definitely not nearly. Why I went back to WordPress is WordPress is just so easy, and everything's jQuery, Ajax. It just does things. It's like it's like an app, where stuff moves around instead of having to submit all the time. Anyway, maybe that's meaningless to you people, but
Back to the food. I was checking out the Booster Juice website, and they have one drink that's called Sonic Soy. Can everyone hear me? Is my mic muted or?
Just
I can
fine.
hear you.
Oh, okay. And yeah, a lot of their drinks have a lot of nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin C. This Sonic Soy drink has 35% out of 350 milliliters of vitamin B12.
B12 is good. It's the one that's really hard to get, I think, because our water supply has changed. It's apparently something you got in your water in ancient times. Anyway.
Yeah, so I think that's a great option. We could get a gift card for that place.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if I didn't buy meals on campus, just getting something as a supplement every day would work.
That's what I was asking, if they had, like an a la carte, if you can just
I
buy
think
things
so, because
individually.
because part-time students use it. I mean, it's the hospitality services, right? They call their thing hospitality services. What is this booster juice thing? Is it a third party or is it in McMaster?
It's in McMaster.
But like it's run by McMaster?
No, it's a third party, like Williams. Williams is not a part of McMaster, right? It's a
Right.
third party company.
Yeah, Booster Juice has locations on several university campuses.
I see. Often the ones on campus do accept meal cards. Like even Subway in Westdale accepts the campus meal card.
So is this something we could add to the list along with the Subway and Tim Hortons? We can add in this organization for.
I don't know how you'd get it. How you get the.
I can look into if they have gift card program for Booster Juice, the store name.
Okay.
Was that the store name or the product name, Booster Juice?
It's the name of the company. They're all over the country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never heard of them.
Okay.
And it's a new franchise.
You can tell who the two Americans are here were.
Aren't there any coffee shops or anything around where you can get soy milk from? 'Cause I always get soy in a latte or from like Starbucks and places like that.
Probably not fortified.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't think they'd use fortified soy milk unless they had to, right? Because they're not advertising it.
But yeah, they have gift cards.
For what?
They have gift cards?
For Booster Juice, they have gift cards.
Oh,
Awesome.
specifically for Booster Juice, right?
Yeah.
So Tina, could you add that to the list?
Yeah, I will look into the list and see, and maybe test how it works. Yeah.
Sounds good.
And just to clarify, what does fortified soy milk mean?
Means they've put vitamins
They
in it.
add vitamin, all kinds of vitamin in the drink.
Well, I'm looking at the nutritional value, and I do see many vitamins.
Yeah, I mean, soy milk doesn't have B12 naturally. It's something they add.
But it's not simply soy. It's like blueberries, strawberries. It says vanilla soy milk plus soy protein and wilderness boosters, whatever that is.
A little bit of marketing there.
Wilderness boosters.
By little, I mean a lot.
Sounds pretty cool. Okay, if we're pretty much all set with that, I just had a couple things regarding the monastery itself. Bante, there are a couple of local people, and I'm not sure if they'd be interested in doing this, but I wanted to find out from you first. If there were people that were willing to come and do a painting party and paint your room there, would you be interested in that? Because you had mentioned last night picking up possibly the Dhammapada series on a nightly or almost every nightly basis. And are you comfortable with the background the way it is? Or if you could get some local people to paint it a more soothing color, would that be of interest?
I don't know. Why don't we ask the group? I don't care.
It's very American flaggish.
Hmm.
Well, we could get a Spider-Man poster to go with the colors.
Someone called Bante Spider-Man in chat on the online meeting, and he called him out and said that is wrong speech. Well, if you have no objection, what I can do is put it out there and see if there are people who would be willing to do that, and if so, we can certainly provide the funds to buy the paint. And
Yeah, I think I'd like to see a more laid-back color in there.
yeah, it takes a little getting used to, and I've gotten used to it, but I don't know if it's off-putting to other people who are
Pretty
maybe
intense,
watching
yeah.
for the first time.
Singing.
Well, the red actually brings out the blue in Yutadamo's eyes.
Well, that's looking on the bright side.
I thought they were green.
Oh, are they green? I don't know.
The red is making them look blue. Well, if you have no objections, I'll put it out there and see if there are people who have the time and would be willing to do that. We'll just see how it goes. The other thing is regarding the monastery. The online campaign has been very slow lately, and that's not a big concern because there is enough money in there, or has enough been generated, I think, for another couple of months worth of rent. But it would be good to maybe update people a little bit. Were you interested in making a new video to tell a little bit about how things have been now that the monastery started, and maybe
Right,
some
I
of
was
the
going to do
activities?
that.
Yeah, a new video would help a lot. That's really what gets people interested in sharing the campaign again.
Hmm. But it is a little bit discouraging that people aren't taking the initiative to support the place.
Well, they have, and I think we need to explain better what the intention is, because when the online campaign first started,
Right.
I had built it specifically with a statement saying we were trying to get a couple months worth of startup costs, and then I changed it to we're trying to support the monastery for a year. But I'm not sure that it's clear to people if they've made a single donation and maybe felt that that was all that was needed. And
Like, you know what would be really nice? This is a request. In Thai they would say, I'm coming on alms round to all of you. It's this expression monks, we adapt the word alms round to mean when a monk asks for something. If someone could put together a script and have a few of you guys make a video. Like I could be a part of it, but it would be like a hangout like this, and we'd all have a piece to say, and it would talk about the organization. You know, like those videos where you have 4 or 5 people talking about one
So
issue.
maybe we could introduce ourselves, say what we do and stuff like that.
sure. Do you want to do that in place of this meeting next week? We can kind of communicate through email about it, and
But someone has to do the script. Someone has to be a script writer.
well, wouldn't we each write our own piece to say, like Anthony said, introduce ourselves, tell what we're doing?
That's a good idea. But you have to say something about, because I don't really want to talk too much about the fundraiser myself.
No. What I was
So,
thinking really
well,
was, just so that people don't forget about it and that they have continuation with what's going on with the monastery now that it has been opened.
mhm.
Um, basically keeping people up to date with what's going on, keeping people involved with it.
Sure. Okay.
Should we do 2 different videos, or maybe one video where you explain what's going on with the monastery, and then we're there in the hangout and we kind of chime in and say different things that we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I could start the video off.
Yeah, so a key part of this video is that us lay people are doing the part of asking for support, I think.
Yeah, I mean, not even necessarily asking, but just talking about it.
Or encouraging.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least saying, if we don't get support, we're just going to stop. I mean, not in those words, but you know what I mean. Like, not even quite encouraging, but at least saying, this is all here because people want it to be, and we depend on your support to continue, basically.
You make this possible, type of thing.
Yeah. I would probably say it a little more in a positive way than if we don't get support, we're going to close
Yeah,
down.
no.
Only you can get away with that, Bante.
But what it means is not even pushing, but just
Right.
making it clear that we're okay. If it's not going to happen, we'll stop. That's fine. So leaving it up to people, helping people to take the initiative, which I think is important.
Sure, because with every religious organization, when you go to church or whatever, there's always a routine, offering of some sort.
I know,
And-
but I don't like that.
Well,
Passing around the plate.
well, I know you don't like the idea of it, but the function of it is important. Just a regular.
Right. No one minds it, and they know that it's how it works, and it makes it easy for people. Is kind of the idea, right?
It's just functionally necessary to have a regular influx
Awesome.
of.
But it also kind of makes it feel like pushy.
There's social pressure and that sort of means of, passing the hat around, so to speak. People are like, oh, I better put $10 in because, my friend or my neighbor did. And
Christians are so used to it that it's not a big deal, but it's still, the format is not so comfortable to me.
Okay, so how
Like they do
best?
that when I give a talk in Stony Creek. Every time someone gives a talk, they start passing around this thing, and people have started to complain. This Thai woman, she doesn't want to go. She's talked to people who don't want to go to the monastery because it's all about money.
So what's a better way to get the message out that ongoing support is needed?
Yeah, I mean, it just means the tone that you use. You don't have to be that careful. I just mean, let's not worry too much about being pushy, but we do have to make it clear that you make this possible. I think that's a good way of phrasing it.
That's a nice positive way of saying it. You make it possible.
And making it easy, like a click of a button or something.
Yeah.
And we're just going to pack up and go home if you don't help. So
No, that's the problem. You'll be homeless if we.
I am homeless.
In terms of script, we could consider one thing that some videos are doing, where everybody is reading off of the same script, and the video shows one person at a time saying certain words.
And you cut it. You could have everyone record themselves saying it, and then you can cut it and put it together.
Right.
Piece by piece.
Oh.
Those are clever.
That's a good idea.
Who'd want to write that script?
I can try to write it, and then I'll send it out to everyone and get your thoughts and okay, and then rewrite it.
Then we do it. Then we can record it each on our own time.
Okay.
And then someone has to use some video software to paste it together, which I'm sure someone has, right? I mean, I could do it in a pinch here, but Linux is not the best platform for that kind of thing. I can do it. It's just a little more work. Someone has a Mac, that's probably the best platform.
Does anyone have a Mac?
Not me.
I do. I'm not sure if it has Final Cut or video editing software. I have to check.
Should be like if someone knows something about it or has a little experience. I could send it to my uncle in Bangkok. He could do it.
One of my coworkers knows how to do it. I could ask him.
And how would we record ourselves? Just make a private YouTube video ourselves and collect them all?
I mean, ideally you'd use a real camera, like if you have a DSLR or Even a point-and-shoot camera sometimes have recording, because it's better than your webcam. Can be a better quality.
What's the format for the output, the video output or
I think
recorded?
that's, as long as you have a fairly good quality, that we can work with. It's not really that big of a deal because it can be all converted. On the other hand, you're right, it's if some is progressive and some is interlaced, it's a bit of a nightmare. Might be easier if we just do the video, the YouTube, the Hangout
The
thing.
Hangout?
But it won't be nearly as good quality.
No.
You could all come here and we could record it here in Stony Creek. And
And while we're there, we can paint the walls.
absolutely. Come during reading week, that's next week. I'm off school. Well, who would be willing to take part in this video and say something? Everybody?
I will.
Yes, I would.
Sure.
I will.
Sure.
Okay, well, Aruna, would you?
I can hear you.
Are you interested in this?
Oh, sure.
Because you're here and you and I can do it here.
Yeah.
Stefano, do you have a good camera?
Yeah, a Canon something or other.
DSLR?
Yeah.
The big problem with everything is going to be a microphone.
I have
right?
a proper mic.
If you have a proper mic, that's awesome.
I have lighting too.
And if you can just set it to, well, if possible, 24p, but 30p also works. What are we using? 24p, I think.
And come to the monastery to film?
No, you can film it at home if you got a good camera. It's if someone doesn't have a good camera. Anthony, do you have a camera?
No.
Tina?
Like for video recording, yes.
Well, yeah. Hi, Audrey. I sent you a DVD. She can hear me, right?
Should I keep the headset
Tell her I sent her a DVD.
one day?
Did you tell her I sent her a DVD already?
Not yet. I just got it in the mail yesterday.
Oh,
Are you ready?
you can thank Aruna for that.
So, Anthony, are you considering coming on the nature walk Friday?
I'm at work. They won't let me take the
Oh.
time off.
Because I could bring the camera Friday, and maybe I could film.
Oh, if you bring the camera Friday, you could take some pictures for us.
Yeah,
That would be really useful.
sure.
Huh.
So then regarding the video for the online campaign, did we want to do a hangout a week from now and get this all put together, or are we doing it individually and just submitting it, or?
It would be easier if we did it here in the Hangout, but it just wouldn't be as good quality.
Yeah, I don't think it would be good enough, to be honest.
Well,
Yes,
we're not a slick production company, so it's probably okay that it's not the greatest of quality.
But like you notice the videos I made for the campaign, they're really sharp and clear.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference. Like if you compare that to Stefano's video right now.
Yeah, it's beyond 1080p.
Yeah. So, and then you end up with Aruna with half of his head cut off.
Well, because we have the photo gallery too. I just saw she's so cute. We have the photo gallery too, so maybe each of us would be willing to submit a photo of ourselves with like a description of what we're doing. Maybe that would come out a little better and just put it in the photo gallery. And maybe Bante would do a video, a nice looking video.
Yeah, I was hoping to get away from just me doing a video. Because I can't talk about certain things, or it's better if I don't talk about certain things.
Yeah. How about if your video just doesn't ask for funds at all? Because I can do that through a text update. So how about if you just do a video just based on the monastery is open and this is what we're doing, maybe have some pictures around the monastery, whatever you want to do to communicate to people what your new monastery is up to. And then I can do the text write-up to say, you know, your support is appreciated to keep this going, you make this possible, and all that kind of stuff.
Could do. It'd just be neat if we did that in a video.
It would. It would. And maybe we could do something like just a couple of minutes at the end of your well done video where, you know, it just shows us, because it is good to show, you know, other people that are interested and supporting this as well. You know, it's not all about money. It's, you know, it's about time and effort and, you know, ideas and all that kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
is there some way we could just kind of pop on at the end and say hi, and even if it's not the greatest quality, if it's just like the last little ending piece of the video?
I think whoever has a good video camera should just send a video, and then whoever can't do it just can't do it.
You know, also there are also 3 or 4 local people, and maybe you could all get together when it's convenient and do something. Just a suggestion. I don't know
Like
how
this Friday.
Stefano
Yeah,
and
in
Anthony
fact-
feel about that.
In
Yeah, I
fact,
could come on a Saturday or a Sunday.
there's other people here, like May, the woman who's been supporting with food, could get her to say something. I don't know exactly if she can talk about it, but, you know,
That might
just
be the easiest.
say, I don't know exactly what what we're expecting everyone to say. What is a good thing for people to say?
I think for the people that have supported the campaign so far and who look for these updates and who would, you know, be willing to share the campaign and get other people interested in it, I think they want to know what's going on with the monastery. So
Right.
some support's been given, so what's going on?
So I can say that for sure. It's just
Maybe people could talk about their personal experience with the practice as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah. And then, yeah, when they, especially I see like, you know, people when they offer in Dana and then, yeah, especially, yeah, their experience. And then, yeah, I think other people may be interested to see that thing, right?
yeah, I guess I was just thinking like with fundraisers, there's often a video that is kind of like talking about the fundraiser. Which the point is that's what I would be doing, except I can't really do that reasonably.
Yeah. We also can talk about we do our part, whichever we can do to help. Like we offer our time, we offer our any kind of skill like that.
Okay. And then the work, somehow the work our volunteers are doing, I think we can say like kind of, you know, can project maybe these sort of work we are doing, like, I mean, different individuals, how they helping, you know, keep up and running like that. Yeah.
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, Aruna, but it might be because of these dumb earbuds that I'm wearing. Can everyone else hear Aruna well?
I don't know, it was going in and out.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
mic is a little bit
My bad, right?
a little uncertain there.
Oh, sorry.
Well, let me put it this way then. I'll make a video about what's going on here. If anyone would like from their heart to say something about the campaign, they can send me a video and we can put it together.
Send it to you or send it to Stefano?
I have
Yeah.
to check if I have the video editing software.
Okay.
But have you ever used it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. All right, then we'll all send videos saying something about whatever we...
Well, I just remembered. Yeah, my brother has a Windows program. Yeah. Yeah, and we've used it recently.
Okay.
So it's 1 o'clock, and gotta wrap it up a little bit. I had hoped to have time to talk about also just to give the administration committee a chance to talk about everything they've been doing. They've been doing a lot, defining, putting down suggestions for bylaws and the setup of the administration group, the setup of the Sirimangalo International, really. And there's lots going on with insurance queries and lots of different stuff, and there was no time to talk about it. And also Bond, it looks like Bond had to leave, so maybe we can leave that for next week. But for Jeff and Anthony, who are here, did you want other people to join those meetings on Wednesdays? I know there were a couple of people who had put their names in as being interested in the administrative committee.
I don't know what else other people will do, but Bond did mention something about he could use some help in organizing those meetings and chairing them, whatever that means.
Yeah, I agree with that. And he wants to structure in a way that we have a chairperson. So it would be nice maybe if we could get at least one other person involved who might be willing to do that. Or we can shuffle around some duties so that we could incorporate that.
Okay. So do you have a meeting coming up this Wednesday?
Yes, the insurance person is coming this Wednesday, so we're going to get an introduction to insurance and then discuss other issues, I presume.
So can we invite those two other people as well as, put out another email and say, is anyone else interested?
Of course,
and
absolutely.
at least invite those two people and get that going a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's worthwhile.
Okay. And I'll come as well, of course, sure. So did anyone have anything else to add for now?
Okay, so just to sum it up, what we did today, the booster juice thing, we're each making a video, whoever has a good camera, and how are we gonna post that on YouTube so so I could download it and edit it? Or what's the best option for sending video?
But Robin, you were going to make a script, is that right?
Oh.
Or just draft a script and then
was
pass it around to us?
Yeah, that was if we were all going to read the same thing and try to do that intersplicing thing. But
we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It might get too complicated.
Yeah, would you want us to just create our own video on YouTube, make it private, send the link to Stefano, and as well as Bante's link, Bante's video, all private, send them all to Stefano, and he puts them together and then sends the link back to us. It goes both on YouTube and also on the online campaign.
It's always better to send the video directly because YouTube already does a conversion. Every time you convert,
you lose.
Encode the file, you lose quality. So then it has to be encoded about 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
Maybe put a video on the the cloud storage place.
Yeah, there's file sharing sites we can use.
Dropbox.
But there's a limit to how much you could upload, right? You could share at once.
A really good video would be a couple of gig.
All right, here's a real sketchy idea, but it might work. If Bante did a good video, a nice, crisp video talking about what's going on, and we just entered into the comment space, just entered in a link to our own video saying whatever we want to say, just enter it as a comment. I mean, it would work, I think.
Or even better, those boxes that show up on video that you could click. But I think Udadama wants it all in one video.
And maybe our pre-recorded video submissions could appear sort of as little squares within the high-quality video.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't catch that.
So for example, I mean, the individual submissions we do could appear in the high-quality video as sort of inset. You know what I mean? So it shows in part of the screen as a little rectangle showing our own video.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that involves for a video editor, so I haven't done that.
So you have videos, like different boxes. I'm
Video
confused.
inside a video.
Are there multiple videos playing at the same time?
We won't have people talking at the same time, but it's just an idea.
Okay.
And I guess my feeling is that when you have, if you're going to put a video as the head video for a funding campaign, it should be about the campaign. It shouldn't just be about me talking about the monastery. That's sort of what I was thinking. I mean, really, it's your campaign. Why aren't you guys talking about it?
Okay.
Why am I, it seems a little bit fishy. Why is this monk doing his own campaigning? Why is his video there?
We'll take care of it.
If you could, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I think for practical purposes is because, you have the viewership.
Well, I can post your video on my channel. That's fine. But I'd rather it not be me. I mean, I should do one. But, you guys could just as easily do one about the organization, the center, and everything. It doesn't have to be
I
me
have to
talking.
go say hi to my grandfather.
Okay, anyway, we should go, I guess, and
Yeah.
I guess I'll leave that with you guys.
Yeah, we can finish up the details on the mailing list.
Yes, that sounds good. We'll get it figured out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.